Hi, this is Dr. Darren Schmidt. I'm talking about muscle testing for nutrition. So what that is, quickly, is where the patient holds their arm out. I push on it as a practitioner, and then I'm contacting different parts of the body to find out if the arm goes weak or if it stays strong. So if the thyroid is strong and healthy, I contact the thyroid, push on the arm, and the arm stays strong. If the thyroid is needing some help, I contact the thyroid and push on the arm, and the arm goes weak. So that's the type of analysis that I've been doing since 1998, and I started to question it around 2003, and I want to know, is this really what I want to do for the rest of my career? And so what I did in my office was I changed my procedure with new patients. I did this for 1 year. So the file was created, all the paperwork was done by the front desk staff. They closed the file, I grabbed it, and I took the patient to the back and to the treatment room, and I did the muscle testing procedure. And then, after I got all my findings and wrote them down, then I opened up the file to see if what I found matched up with what they had going on with their health and what symptoms they had. So I did this for a year, and I was getting some pretty positive results. And the reason why I ended it was because I was testing this kid, this guy. He must have been 9 years old, and his mom was sitting in the chair, and he's holding his arm up. Maybe he was 10. And as I'm testing him, I find a lot of fungus in his body. And I said to the mom, he's got so much fungus, it's coming out of his ears. Now I said that because, like, the part where I said coming out of his ears, that came from a statement that my dad used to say. I grew up on a farm, and we raised 350 acres of sweet corn back then. And he would, when the sales were low, he would say, "We have so much corn, it's coming out of our ears." So it's a joke. It's fine that you're not laughing, but I said this to the mom, and the mom jumped up from the chair, and she rushed over, and she pulled her son's ear back like this, and there was actually fungus growing out from his ears, behind his ears, both sides. So it was at that point where I was totally sold on muscle testing. And so I stopped that experiment. So now muscle testing is not on the news. It's not discussed very much at all. And I do like a website called TED.com, which is a conference slash educational website where they have really smart people on stage talking about their expertise. But my guess is you'll never see muscle testing on TED.com because the owner of TED.com does not like alternative healthcare. Also, if you look it up in Wikipedia, the owner of Wikipedia, the founder, does not like alternative healthcare. So you look up muscle testing, other sort of alternative healthcare subjects in Wikipedia, they just bash it. They just bash it over and over again. But I don't need that to know that this works really well to find out what's going on. I can find things that an x-ray, MRI, blood test, urine test, I find things that conventional testing does not even discover at all, no matter what you do. I can find blocked arteries just by pushing on the arm. I found it on dozens and dozens of people, and then I ask them, "Hey, do you get chest pain?" And they say yes. Then I say, "Well, how many people have you told that to before?" And they say none, because nobody just walks around talking about their chest pain. So, but with the muscle testing, I discover it, and it opens up this conversation, and we fix that up. So, I want to share a story. I have a patient who's her and her family see a guy named Dr. Ibrahim. He's in New York City. Occasionally, he actually has a medical school in Nigeria. I should say Dr. Ibrahim as his name. He is the world's leading parasitologist. He's actually in charge of parasitology for the World Health Organization. So this guy knows what he's doing. He gets samples of blood, urine, etc. And he looks at them underneath the microscope. And his viewpoint is, if it's not under the microscope, it doesn't exist. So my patient said to him that I found a parasite in her body, and he rolled his eyes. She said that like you can't get your eyes back far enough, and like compared to what he was doing. But when he looked at her blood under the microscope, there were parasites there, and he said to her, "That guy in Michigan That's very impressive that he found parasites. And I did it by pushing on her arm. That's how I found him. So her dad also, I found some organisms in his body. And when he saw Dr. Ibrahim said, you have so much going on, so many parasites going on, that you should be in a wheelchair. But your doctor in Michigan has kept you out of the wheelchair. So that's just some, validation of what we do. And it happens a lot. People say, like, I find something, then they get a blood test, they get an MRI, and sure enough, it shows up that way. So there's a lot of correlation there. I just want to introduce this subject. We have a few videos on it on the website. I don't have many. I don't put out a lot of videos on muscle testing, but I did want to put this out here just to give you my background. Like, I researched this thoroughly. I experimented with it. It took me several years. It took me really 5 years to decide that I'm going to do muscle testing, because I objectively researched it to find out, is this really what I want to do? And it did pass all my tests. So I'm looking for, what can I do that's fast, that's effective, that's really inexpensive, and gets the best results. Those are my 4 parameters to in my approach to health care. Now, I'm not looking for approval from other doctors. I'm not looking for approval from the federal government. I'm not looking for approval or looking at guidelines from insurance companies. All I want to know is, are you going to get better? And how fast can we do it? How cheaply can we do it? And using the most effective means. And the most effective means are natural nutrition, homeopathy, nutritional supplements, herbs, and natural stuff like that. Lifestyle choices so that are healthy. So there's my little spiel on this. I hope this was a worthwhile 7 minutes for you.